What's up, guys? It's your boy Ancio7 here, and welcome back to Wii Month. Today, New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Ready, set, go. So we'll start off with the presentation as, well, it's a new Super Mario Bros. Game on the Wii, essentially. The main difference this time around compared to the DS entry is that there is 4-player multiplayer at the same time, which is kind of cool, but also probably not the best idea in the grand scheme of things. And other than that, I don't really know. And graphic-wise, the game looks pretty good. I mean, it definitely doesn't look anything as good as Galaxy, but I mean, it doesn't look terrible. I mean, the art style didn't really reach pure fatigue until New Super Mario Bros. 2, as this was only the second in the game series. And that's that. But what about the story? Well, essentially, Princess Peach is having her birthday. So what does she get for her birthday? Getting kidnapped again, that's what. Yeah, that's like it. Pretty bad. And honestly, a pretty bad birthday, although, who knows? Maybe Peach and Bowser are the ones who actually like each other and not Mario. So who knows? But anyways, let's get on with the gameplay. Now, the gameplay in this game is pretty simple and standard. Not really that much of a difference compared to the DS entry. You can run and jump. You can also ground pound and wall jump, just like in the DS entry. However, you can also do a brand new move by shaking the Wii remote, essentially allowing you to twirl a little bit. Essentially, if you're in the air, you can essentially do like a little spin sort of thing to correct your jump if you fail. This was brought in other games as well, which is a nice thing to save you from some depth perception. And you also can just shake on the ground and all that stuff. But there also are brand new power-ups as well, such as the helicopter mushroom, or whatever that thing is. The mushroom with the spinny thing on its head, the propeller one. That one essentially is a new Nerf's version of the Tanuki suit. It's a really cool one to use because you get a lot of air and you can really slow down your fall. That's just right, just right. There's also the ice power-up, which essentially freezes enemies. It can essentially kill enemies like dry bones, but it does require a little bit more effort. And then there's just a better version of that power-up, which is just the penguin suit, which essentially is kind of like the blue shell from the original New Super Mario Bros., but way easier to control and way more useful. And that's pretty much it. They brought back the mini mushroom and all that jazz. That's pretty much it. It's pretty much New Super Mario Bros. Again, but there is playable, but can play with 4 players, like I mentioned before. You can play with another person, which co-op is a lot better for this game, but 4-player chaos is just way too chaotic, especially since you can pick up players. It's probably not the best idea, honestly. But the gameplay wouldn't mean anything if the controls suck, but this game's controls are so good. They are just how you want them to be. They're responsive and to the point. Next, game content, and honestly, the content in this game isn't too bad. Essentially, you get 9 worlds, and one of them is an unlockable world. But essentially, there is a lot to do. I mean, this game released in 2009 for the Wii. I mean, don't get expectations too high, and it was on the Wii, so I mean, it was basically had as much storage as 2 sticks of butter would. But there's enough to do. I mean, there's a lot of levels you can play, and there's some other stuff you can do multiplayer-wise, such as coin battles and time trial stuff. There's stuff you can do. And maybe not as much as the original New Super Mario Bros., which had somewhere around 9 worlds, plus the mini games, which were really cool. They couldn't even do that much with the Wii one. So I'll say it's not too bad, but the DS one will probably have the most amount of content. And that was a handheld title, so come on, Nintendo. And then lastly, the soundtrack. The soundtrack in this game is New Super Mario Bros., just bubbly Mario music. It's not really the best out there, except for the final boss fight. The final boss fight song is really good and pretty epic for a Mario game. I will say that right now. But that's New Super Mario Bros. Wii. honestly speaking, this isn't a bad New Super Mario Brothers. I personally like this one the most out of them all, as I do have nostalgia for this game, as this was one of the first Mario games I did play, so there is that. Honestly, I don't think this one's that bad. The game series didn't reach fatigue until a little later down the line. But to be honest, this one you might want to try. If you want to play a really solid 2D Mario game, try this one out. I think you'll have a lot of fun with this one. On my scale from 0 to 10, I give this game an easy 7.5 out of 10. Not a bad game by any means, but it's definitely sort of bland, I guess you could say. Well, thanks for watching and take care.
It's showtime! Did you enjoy the show? Well, time for the highlight.